Hello, greetings to all of you. My name is Kai Viken, coming to you from very far. I really desired to be here today, but because of a few arrangements that coincided with today's date, I am not around. I'm currently in Cape Town, South Africa. And I'm excited specifically because of the topic that my brother gave me to mention about, which he has extensively dealt with in this book that we are launching today. I want you to understand that personal leadership, or what is commonly known as self-leadership, is an intentional journey of discovery. That is a good place to begin. That one, it is an intention that you begin within yourself. So nobody forces you, and that is why it is called a personal or self. So it has to begin with an intention. And number two is that it is a journey. Now, meaning you don't wake up one day and you decide, I am now there. Okay? So it becomes a journey that you walk for some time until day by day you perfect yourself or personal leadership. Now, having said that, I have also mentioned the word discovery because it has to be you knowing who you really are. When I talk about who you really are, it is far from your name. It is far from why you were called Mbogwa or Otieno or Thiambo or all these names that you're given. Far from that. When I talk about discovery, as we grow up, we become products of so many things. Some of us become products of the things we go through. Others become products of how they were raised. Others become products of the challenges they have come across. And therefore, it is easy for a father or a mother to talk about the future of their baby and say, I want it to become this. But oftentimes, that does not materialize based on the environment that a child grows in. I have given my story before. I wanted to become a pastor, and my father was a pastor, and the environment was very friendly for me to actualize my dream of becoming a pastor. But because of challenges along the way, because of the journey that I walked along the way, I found myself in the school of leadership based on personal reasons, and also because of the challenges that I went through at some point when I was a street boy. Now that becomes a journey of self-discovery, so that what I have become and what I continue to become is more inspired by the journey I have come more than where I have been raised or where I was born. So an intentional journey of self-discovery. After you have gotten to the place of beginning to discover yourself, then there comes a need to monitor your progress. Number one, are you growing? Are you improving yourself daily? Are you becoming better? What exactly do you need to work on so that tomorrow you look at yourself and you're proud that you're a better version of yourself? Now, all these analyses do not come from an external force. All these does not come from an external influence. All this comes from deep within. And therefore, as you continue to discover yourself, as you continue to know what things you're working on and monitor your progress and realize I need to put timelines in the next 1 year, I don't want to be struggling with this. Now that forms the basis of self-leadership. Now there are three aspects of self-leadership that I want to mention real quick. I'm not gonna keep you all day long. Now the first aspect is humility. Why would I talk about humility in self-discovery? It is because you will realize many people have not gotten to the place of self-discovery because they're not humble enough to accept who they are and who they are not. You see, growing up, and especially in the space of wanting to become a pastor, there are many people who really I looked up to, not mentored me. I'm going to talk about mentorship some other time, but who I looked up to. One of them being Pastor Donnie McClacken, a powerful, blessed worship pastor, and also Noel Jones. I think Pastor Donnie McClacken is in Perfecting Faith Church. Then there is Bishop Noel Jones of the Noel Jones Ministries. I really loved these two guys. I loved how they used to do their craft. I loved how they preached, how they did their thing. And I remember at some point in my life, I was a worship leader, powerful worship leader, and I had put myself to task. I don't know how to play the piano, so I know a few chords, a few keys to play the drums. So I have a musical background. So I began leading worship, and my goodness, you should have seen me in my days. And I realized I was trying to follow after what excited me, but not who I really was. You understand? I hope you're driving somewhere. Don't get lost. So, in a bid to be like somebody else, you might realize you are losing the very essence of self-leadership. Because what you'll be doing, you'll be in a circle of trying to be somebody who is trying to be somebody else, who is trying to be somebody else, who is trying to be somebody else, and you realize at the tail end is somebody who wants to be like you. All right? So where does humility set in all this? Humility is a place of being low enough to understand, number one, you may have an idea of where you're going, but God is the masterpiece. God holds the whole plan of why He created you. God holds the whole plan of what exactly He wants to do with you. So humility comes in the place of I have my desire, I have people I look up to, I have things I want to do, but there is also the place of trying to understand, what does God want to do with me? What exactly is the plan of God? Right? And that is where we talk about discovering your purpose. What is your purpose? That question becomes very scientific if you don't begin the conversation from down here. What is your purpose? What exactly did God bring you to do here on earth? Because you're not just an added number. So the aspect of humility, being able to come so down, and you separate your desires, you separate your conquest, you separate all these things, and humble yourself enough to understand what exactly is the plan of God in my life. Now, based on my desire to understand what was the plan of God in my life, is when I realized I don't have to hold the microphone and preach to serve my purpose. I can also be in the marketplace and serve my purpose. I hope in one way or another that makes you understand this much better. Number two, with humility also comes what we began talking about, and that is an intention. You can't be lazy and hope to be able to grasp the concept of self-leadership. It has to come with a very disciplined intention. I love when I use those two words, a disciplined intention. This is where I have to commit my time, I have to commit my resources, I have to commit everything about myself and my day towards at least improving myself. You've mentioned the word improving yourself and growing yourself. So there has to be a deep intention. This is exactly what I want to do, and I am disciplined enough to commit my time, to commit my resources, to commit everything that I have and that is within me towards achieving the goal of being able to discover myself and be able to grow to self-leadership. So what is your intention? You can define your intention by how you use your time. Ladies and gentlemen, an intention can be very well explained by how you plan your time during the day, not by what you say. I would spend a whole day here telling you what I want to do, but can I tell you how I use my time, the 24 hours God has given me? How I use my time communicates louder on what is my intention. Okay? Now, I intentionally began a tour around the world to learn cultures, to learn different things, to learn different organizations, how they work, and by God's grace, been able to experience different places. And in my journey of trying to understand, number one, myself, and number two, the environment that I am in, and number three, what I am supposed to operate like. What is my machinery? What exactly do I need to do, and where do I position myself? In my journey of doing all that, I have realized most of my resources have gone towards my intention. You understand? So your intention is more loudly communicated, or is louder when we look at how you spend your time and your resources. The third thing, which is very important, is what I call your mindset. Now, there's nothing as powerful within you as your mindset. I know some of you are working out. I know some of you are already in the gym. Others began in January and February as a New Year resolution, but when it came to March, you were done. But anyway, some of you are very well built. You have the muscles. Some of you have very loud mouths when you speak. Even when you're whispering, everybody can hear. There are all those dynamics. But what is more powerful in you as a person and as a human being is what I call your mindset. Now, my brother has quoted scripture in the book of Genesis about those guys that were building the Tower of Babel. You remember that story? And he has detailed the story very well, because these guys, when God looked at them, he didn't see what they had done. He saw what they were planning to do. Because when you put your mind together to do something, my goodness, I can assure you, you are unstoppable. So there is the place of setting your mind that this is exactly what I want to do. This is how far I want to go. And if you're able to manipulate and teach and preach to your mind to be able to focus towards the process of personal leadership, you are unstoppable. Because then you'll be able to make very important decisions in your life. There are places you will intentionally avoid. There are people you will kick out of your life. There are things you will stop doing, even without the help of a pastor or a prophet or an evangelist laying their hands on you. There are things that you'll be able to stop immediately without being able to stress yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are desirous and in an intention to be able to build yourself towards self-leadership, I can assure you, if you set up your mind and you trust in God, there is nothing that you cannot do. So set yourself up. You cannot wait any longer. All right? You cannot. Self-leadership does not wait, because as you wait, then you're destroying your purpose and you're destroying your timeline. I'm encouraged when I see young people begin to win at an early age, because that is the desire of God. We can't wait until we are 85 to claim our mountain. When we are strong, we will go for it. All right? So let's begin the conversation of self-leadership right now. Let's begin going through the journey of self and personal leadership right now. And if you need a guide, I believe this book will be very much important for you. So I hope you grab your book today, grab for your friends, grab for your family members, and let's begin that journey and conversation of personal and self-leadership, and you'll see how far we can go. All right? Again, my name is Kai Vikan, the CEO of Fearless International. Apologies again, I wish I would have been able to join you, but I will join you some other time, God willing. I'm in Cape Town, South Africa, finishing a few things, and God willing, be back to serve my purpose in the country. God bless you, God be with you, and congratulations, my brother. Thank you.